بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome back, my dear students, in this English lesson. What are we going to do in this lesson? Let's take a look. So we are still in Unit 4. We're talking about past time, and today's lesson is going to be a reading. But before we go to the lesson, do you remember the previous homework? What were you asked to do, and what did you do? You were asked to write about 3 skills you have. When you're writing about your skills, things that you can do, you're going to write, I know how. So let's take a look at these examples. I know how to use computer. I know how to teach English. I know how to make videos. So these are 3 skills we used I know how to. Now, let's take a look at the map of Unit 4. Where are we now? We're here in reading. Now, by the end of this lesson, what are you going to be able to do? By the end of the lesson, you will be able to scan the text for information and find information about our modeling in the text. First, let's take a look at this picture. What do you see here? What is this? It's an airplane, but what kind of airplane? Take a look. There is a remote control, and there's the plane here, and you can see some things attached to this plane. We call this a model plane or air model. So, do you know anyone who knows how to fly air modelers or air models? And what kind of questions do you have about air modeling? So this activity, it's called air modeling. That means mimicking the look of the airplanes, trying to fly the airplanes. Just like when Rick told Jason about his favorite hobby, the unusual hobby. So now you are going to read the text, but before reading the text, what are you going to look for? You're going to look for the main idea and some details. Now, after reading, I want you to think about the main idea. What is the main idea of this text? And what are some details? Remember, the main idea talks about the entire text, but details can talk about specific things in the text. I have some reading tips for you. The first one, underline the new words. Underline it to focus on the context of this word and try to find the meaning of this new word. If you didn't know the meaning from the context, you can look up for the meaning later. And highlight the main idea. I use this when I read academic texts. I highlight the main idea with yellow, and I highlight the details with a different color. Usually, I highlight the main idea with yellow, and the details, I highlight it with blue. But you can choose anything you like. Now, let's take a look at this text. So, in the picture before, you saw this kind of plane. It's called air modeling. So today's text is going to be air modeling. Now, what kind of questions do you have about air modeling? What is air modeling? What is like? How can people do it? And how many people can do it? And so many questions about air modeling. So first, I want you to read the text, and I want you to pay attention to the main idea and the details. And because we want to know some information about air modeling. Now, let's take a look at the text. In this text, we have only one title, Sky High. Do we have subtitles? No, we don't have any subtitles. We only have the main title here. So, the title is Sky High to this text. Now, let's read and underline the words, highlight the main ideas, and highlight some details. Listen to the audio and read with the audio.
Air modeling is an exciting hobby. It attracts people of all ages. They all have one common interest: the love of flying small-sized airplanes. Most people no longer fly the old elastic propelled planes. They no longer fly planes that are attached to two cables and that fly in circles around them. Nowadays, with the advance in technology, the big thing is radio-controlled airplanes. These models fly like real aircraft and are our modeler's ultimate dream.
People control the movement of planes through radio signals. Air models can even perform aerobatics in the sky. Radio-controlled airplanes come in all shapes and sizes, from the mini flyer plane with a wingspan of 9 inches, 23 centimeters, to the huge passenger jet models with a 29.5 foot, 9 meters wingspan. The price of the airplanes varies from $30 to several $100s. Their engines sound like those of full-size jet planes. These jet models can travel at speed of 236 miles, 380 kilometers per hour. That's more than the top speed of Formula One race car. Jet models always attract large crowds at the air modeling competitions. At these competitions, filters usually do a series of actions with their planes, including launchings, landings, and doing maneuvers in the sky, in the air. Air modeling is a popular hobby all over the world. In the United States, for example, the Academy of Modeling Aeronautics has more than 170,000 members in 250 model airplane clubs. The organization advertised the great things about air modeling as a sport. Now, after listening to this text and reading the text, did you underline the new words? Did you highlight the main idea? Did you highlight the details? Now, let's take a look. Now, after reading the text, what is the main idea? The main idea is air modeling is an exciting hobby. The entire text is talking about how exciting is this hobby. Now, what about details? I wrote here 2 details, but the text is full of details about air modeling. Like this one here. Their engines sound like those of full-size jet planes. This is not the main idea. This is just a detail about air modeling. These jet models can travel at speed of 236 miles, which is 380 kilometers per hour. This is not the main idea of the text. This is just a detail about the text. Now, let's fill this table with details about air modeling. Now, the first one is kinds of air models. We have elastic propelled planes attached with 2 cables, and we have radio-controlled air models, and we have the jet-powered air models. So we have these kinds. How about the sizes? In the text, they were talking about the size of the airplanes. It can vary from 23 centimeters until 9 meters. So these are details about the size of the air models. How about the price? So in the price, in the text, it varies from $30 to several $1,000s. What about the kind of engines? We have electronic motors, and we have electronic air models. We have motors, and we have jet turbines, the kinds that runs with a turbine. Now, the last detail is what? It's about the speed of the air models. It can fly fast up till what? Up till 380 kilometers per hour. These are all details about this text. Now, let's take a look. So, Now I want you to try to answer these questions and find the details yourself. The first one here, how much does the hobby cost locally? And where can people get air models? And are there clubs and competitions anywhere in your country? I want you to research and find these information about air models. Now, in the text, there was a part, at the last part, it's about a club. Where is that club? Can you remember? There's a club in the United States. That was one example. I want you to try to find an example in your country. Now, what did we do in today's lesson? So, in this lesson, we scanned the text for information. We found the main idea, the details, and in the text. And we found information about air modeling in the text. Now, that we are done with this, now I want you to research for your homework for the questions I asked you before. What are you supposed to do? Research and find the answer for these questions. The first one is, how much does this hobby cost locally? Do you have it in your country? And the second one, where can people get air models? Now, in your country, where can people get air models? This unusual hobby. The last one here, are there clubs or competitions anywhere in your country? So I asked you to find and research for these questions. That's what you are going to do for your homework. Do your research and find the information and find the information about air modeling in your country for your homework. And thank you very much, my dear students. I will do my research and let's compare our answers in the next lesson. Thank you very much.